Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the marathon revision session of paper one of June 2026. So, the net exam is near, and the last lap of preparation is going on from your side and also from our side. Every time, no, every exam before the exam, what we have is we have a marathon revision sessions, and all the YouTube babies, what we are waiting for is the no, actually the marathon revision session. So actually we have continuous 5 days revision session, like from 6 to 9 what we have. So and this will be also as a public live we'll have. So we'll have the YouTube babies here, and I have on the Zoom we have our current batch students, all J26 online, offline, progressive revision, paper one dedicated, all current batch students I have. So welcome everyone to the marathon session, revision session. So how is the studies going on? Is it going good? How's the last lab going on? How's the revisions going on, everyone? On the YouTube and on the Zoom session. Everyone, how are you? Is it going good? Yes. I can see your messages from the chat box in the YouTube, and also obviously I can see the messages in the chat box here also. Great. Yeah. So today what I have planned is we'll have a revision on mathematical aptitude, data interpretation, and some questions on logical reasoning and also research aptitude. And then after my session, Aparna will join, and then she'll discuss on mathematical reasoning also. So that's an entire day, packed with maths, data, research, and logical and all. Okay, that's from all logical reasoning questions that we have. Okay, questions based on logic questions we have. So basically question pattern, I have taken questions from the PYQs, and based on PYQs and how the questions pattern, maybe like for maths DI and all, when you see DI questions, maybe like you'll be, don't get afraid. What I have to tell you is, as an introduction, what I have to tell you is, all that matters is your presence of mind at the time of the exam. You have studied a lot. Everybody, you have studied a lot during the 6 months, maybe during the last 1 year, last 1.5 years. Maybe like this will be your second attempt, third attempt, maybe the first attempt, maybe the fourth attempt, or more than that. That doesn't matter. And this attempt, what the change that you want to make in attempting the exam is the presence of mind. Every time that I tell to my students is that you should have a good presence of mind. Maybe like first 5 questions of data interpretation, the entire table will be very hard, or maybe you may not be able to interpret the table even itself. So what you want to do is just leave that 5 questions. You have 145 questions coming for you, and that gives you 290 marks if that all that 145 questions are correct. See, that makes the attitude different. It's not like, okay, my God, all 5 questions are hard. What I can do, I learned all data interpretations. I did all harder data interpretations, and even I cannot crack this. Maybe like that will be there. That maybe at that time, the tension or maybe some frustrations that you have, maybe like your mind may not be able to process the data interpretation table or maybe maths questions at first you see. So what do you do? Go to the next question and then solve that, and then maybe it won't be like every 150 questions will be hard. No, there will be some easy questions. So by solving the easy questions at first, will develop confidence. That is what clear. That is what I want to tell you. So keep that strategy, and then you are going to crack this exam. So going with the first question today, I'm going to start with the data interpretation question. Yeah. The following table shows the number of laptops sold by 5 different stores A to E during the 5 different months from January till May in the year 2025. Based on the data in the table, answer the questions that follow. So whenever you have a data interpretation, and every time when I take the classes and all, I have told to the students that you need to interpret the table at first by asking questions to your own. Okay. For example, read the table. What is the table about? Okay, the table is about the laptops being sold in 5 stores in 5 months, and we have stores name as A, B, C, D, E. Okay, quite easy names. And then January, February, March, April, May, and 5 months are there, right? So ask questions yourself where you'll get the answers from. Maybe like what is the number of laptops sold by store C in the month of March? Like that. Okay. So what is the number of laptops sold in March by the store C? Yeah, that is 470. You have answer for that. And maybe like what is the number that is sold by D in February? Number of laptops sold by D, store C, D, sorry, in February. That's 360. Like how that is how you can interpret. Maybe like just you can subtract, add, okay, like that you can just see how it works and all. It's a very easy table to interpret. You will get the data directly. So can we move on to the questions? First question we have, by store A, the number of laptops sold in May is approximately dash percent of that in March. Okay. So you need to find out by store A, the number of laptops sold in May is approximately dash percent of that in March. Okay, approximately dash percent. So what percent is the question actually? What percent is the question? So you need to have the data first. Definitely data. So they are talking about store A. They're talking about store A can do, when I'm doing, you can do or simultaneously do with me. Okay. So then we'll have the, I can tell the answer also. The number of laptops sold in May. So you need to have store A, May, you need to have, so May in A, number of laptops sold is 408. And March, okay, March also you need. So March, the number of is always 440. Okay, so we have the two datas directly. You don't want to find any datas. You have the datas directly, 408 and 440. Okay, so maybe like for example, if you want to have uh, what percent? Okay, if they are asking dash percent, if it is like if it is dash percent more than or dash percent less than, the idea is different. Here it is dash percent of that in March. So the base quantity will be March. So every time if you want to find the dash percent or percent, if it is the first quantity by the second quantity into 100. Here the first quantity is 408 and the second quantity is 440. That means the base is March. You are comparing the the percentage according to March into 100, you will get the percentage. That's all. Okay. First quantity by second quantity into 100. That is what the idea is. So you can just cancel it and then you'll get the answer as 4080 by 44. Anyway, maybe like you can just divide, or maybe like just cancel it and divide, cancel to the lowest forms. Maybe like you will get the no answer when you cancel also. So 92.7272, like that it goes. So if you have 9 and 2, just don't find out, maybe like 9. First number you will get, but you have two options with 94 and 92. 2 it's 9. So then find the next number, 92. If it is 92, then option will be 92. That's 92.73. Only that option with 92. Don't find the entire no decimal point. Yeah, you're getting the option as 3. So here I also have the option as 3. So the option 3 will be the right answer, 92.73. Quite easy to interpret, right? Getting the idea, right? Everyone on the YouTube and also in the session. Yes, guys. Fine. The next question. Yeah. It's a very, maybe like as when you see the question, it is a large question, I mean, a lengthier one. But lengthier does not mean that it is a very harder one. It is an easy one only. See, M is the number of laptops sold by store B and D together in March. It's simple. So see, M is actually, they can even ask the question like find the difference between the laptops sold by B and D and also A and D. Like that they can, but they are just not making it lengthier to read, as maybe like you can lose the time. So now an N is the number of laptops sold by store A and E together in January. Then M minus N. Okay, then. Okay, you have then M minus N is equal to what? So M is the number of laptops. So you need the number of laptops sold by store B and D together in March. Okay, so let me take D in March. So D in March is equal to, what is D in March? You have 530, right? And B in March also you need. B in March. What does B in March? Actually, it is 336. Am I right? Yeah, 530 and 336. Yeah. So 530 and 336, the entire thing that we have. So 6, 6, 8, 866. That is the total, and it is M. That is M. And now you need A in Jan, right? A in Jan, that is equal to 430. And E also in Jan, right? E also in Jan. So months and stores should be taken care of. That's very mandatory. 420, right? All right. So we have 0, 7, and then, sorry, 5. Sorry, it's not 7. It is 5. So 5 and then 8, 850. And this is N. You have to find M minus N. It's very easy. The answer is 16. That's all. I've got the answer. Yeah, great. I can see answers on the chat box of YouTube also. Great. Super. Yeah. So the answer will be 1. Going to the answer that I have. Yeah, it is 16. Correct. Can I move on to the next one? It's easy, right? Can I move on to the next one? What is the average number of laptops sold by Store C in February, March, and April? Very easy to interpret. You have to have, no, it is talking about Store C, and you need to have the data of February. Okay, so February, what is in Store C that you have? It is 556. And in March, okay, in March you have 470. And in April, what you have is 324. Average number. So what is average? It is actually sum by the total number. Okay, sum by the total number. So actually sum, you need to take the sum. That's also 6 plus 4, 10, 0, 1 balance. 6, 13, and 15, 5, 1, 6, 10, 1, 3, 5, 0. So 1350 divided by 3. And that will be 450. That is answer. Yes, 450 is the answer. Great. Just the average number of laptops sold by Store C. If you know the formula of average, and then if you know to add, divide, that's simple. Basic mathematical ideas that you have. So the answer is 450 that you have. Yes, it's 2. Great. I have the answers on the YouTube also if I check. Very good. Great. Going YouTube babies and also our students. The next question. The number of laptops sold by Store D in February and May together is approximately dash percentage more than that by Store B in January and March together. Yeah. So here we need little bit data here. We have to take care of Store D. Okay. Store D at first, and I need Store D in February and May together. Okay, February and May together in D. So I'll take the data first. So Store D, it is 360, right? And May, I have Store D, it is 306. Yeah. So Store D in February and May together I need. So the total number is 666 or 666. And in Store B, you need to have Jan and March. Why they are giving different months to maybe to confuse you. Okay, 312, because you need to look around the table and then get the data. That is what 336. So the total is 8, 4, and 6. Okay. And the number of laptops sold by Store D in February and May together. Okay, the number of laptops sold by Store D in February and May. Okay, so I have taken that, and then dash percent more than that by Store B in Jan and March. Jan and March. Okay, so I have taken that too. And see, it is dash percent more than. Dash percent more than. We need the increase percentage. Increase percentage. What is the formula for increase percentage? Change by initial or base into 100. Okay, remembering this formula. And what is the change? It is actually 648 minus 66. 666, you can have the change is 18. Okay. So 648 and 666 is a change. And what is the base amount that I want to know? Is it 666 or 648? What is the base amount? Yes. Yes, the base amount is 648 because after more than what comes, the store be that the data is the base amount actually. So 648 is the base amount. 18 by 648 into 100. You can even just cancel it by 2 or something like that and then divide. I think you're getting the answer like 2.7 percentage. Yes, that's it. Clear? Okay with everyone? 2.77 percentage. Easy that. Easy to interpret also, right? Yeah. You two guys, are you getting it? Yeah, good, good. I can see that you're getting, yeah, very fine. Can we move on to the next one? Answer is 2.77. Yeah. The number of laptops sold in all the 5 months is more than 2000 for exactly dash stores. Yeah. So there lies maybe the time-taking question for this data interpretation. You need to add every no data and then find the total number here. So maybe like that will be a difficult, not a difficult actually. Maybe like you can have an idea where see for example A. Okay, it is 430, 370. Like just an average number also maybe like you can take 400, 300. If it is exceeding 2000, like you can see. Okay. So just can you just find out the datas for A, B, C and all? Okay, so just add the datas. More than 2000. Should be more than 2000. Give you time to add these. No worries. Add this all datas. That means from A you need to add 430 plus 376 like that you need to add and then find the answer. Yes. No, the number of laptops sold in all 5 months. That means all 5 months means for A, you need to add everything. See, add this and then find the data. So here I think for A, you are getting 2000. Am I right? A, are you getting 2000? Yes, great. So, but it is not more than 2000. It is just 2000. Okay, let us see. Let us see. Because we need to have more than 2000, not exactly 2000. They are asking that more than, and they are not asking more than or equal to 2000. So we cannot consider 2000. So that is why they have given the number 2000 also, because in order to confuse you that whether 2000 can be taken. Okay, no, 2000 cannot be taken because more than 2000 we need. Yeah, for B, are you getting a number like 1900? For D, store B, are you getting 1900? So you should be very quick in adding all these things. Yes, 1900 and now add C. See, where no, like for B, you can easily collect that they're all 300 for exactly for 4 months. Okay. So if you have 4000, even if it is 350 into 4, it is not 354, 350 for every month. Even if it is 350 into 4, it goes 1350 and 500 is added. So it will be near to 1850. And I have a vague idea I am getting. Okay. So from that, you can eliminate B itself. Like that, you can have a vague ideas of numbers. But if you find it difficult to add everything. Okay, so for C, are you getting 2180? C, are you getting 4180? So that counts for more than 2000. And for D, are you getting 1980? See, where they are closer numbers to 2000. And for E, are you getting 2170? These are the numbers that we have, that it's just addition, right? Nothing more than that. You need to get the number of laptops sold in all 5 months, and you need to find out that how many stores are there which have more than 2000 as a total sales. Yes, we only have C and E. We cannot take A, we cannot take B, we cannot take D because they are not more than 2000. Even in A, it was 2001 we can take, but it is not 2000 we can take. Okay, the question is more than that. That's why they have given, I told you. Because a number is there, you get confused. Maybe like you get confused whether it is 2 or 3. It is 2 only. So only 2 stores have more than no 2000. Only 2 stores. Getting the idea? 2 stores is the answer. 2 stores. Yes. Is it clear? Able to interpret the table? It's very easy, right? Easy table. This is a previous year question asked. Okay. So let us expect this year also maybe let them ask easy questions in the data interpretation table. Yeah, that is why, because like it's actually when you have percentage more than percentage, maybe like that you have learned, that makes it easy. You have learned data interpretation, you have learned, and you have done more and more harder problems. That makes it easy. That makes it easy. It's easier. Okay. Can we move on to the next question? Yeah. So I'm just finishing up with this data table. We had done with the 5 questions. And now we are moving to the mathematical aptitude questions. No, yeah. Yes. It's a mathematical aptitude question. Don't get excited because the current trend of the questions that has been asked in mathematical aptitude last maybe like before 2 or 3 exams, they started asking match the following questions in mathematics. Once there was coding and decoding question regarding with the mathematical aptitude question as maths the following. And then they started from the maybe from the last session or before that, they have started asking statement level questions in mathematical aptitude. That means different statements are given as problems, and then you need to solve it and then find whichever the statement is correct, or maybe wrong options also wrong. Also, you should not you need to identify. So it's just a strategy that you need to have where maybe like if you go with the first statement, if it is correct, okay, and if it is wrong, maybe like you can feel that you are going with the elimination of options like that you need to work out. Okay, don't go with every options working out and then finding that it's very difficult. Okay, so what I want to tell you is that start with the first option. It's obviously we need to start with the option. So read that question if you and maybe like read the question in fully you read the question, because if there are some formulas or something like that, you can easily maybe like if there are some increase decrease percentage formula or some meter per meter per second to kilometer per hour conversion formulas are there, easily you can identify whether it is wrong or right. So from that, even like you can get rid of the or eliminate the options and then find out the answer. So now if a shopkeeper incurs a loss of 20% by selling an item for 560, the cost price is 750. Okay, you need to understand whether it is right or wrong. Okay, so you have given with the selling price as 560 and the loss percentage is given as 80. Sorry, loss percentage is given as 20, not 80. So as the loss percent is 20, you can have the in effect percent as 80. You know that, right? So you can write 80% of CP will be equal to SP. Okay, remembering these statements you have written. So 80 by 100 into CP is actually, let it be X. Okay, we have CP 750, but we need to find out whether it is right or wrong. So we are going to find out that. Okay, so equal to 560 because we need to find out that the statement is correct or not. So CP is equal to 560 into 100 by 80. Zeros you can cancel. And this 8 and 560 is 70. CP is 700. See, you got the option as 700. Sorry, CP as 700. Is it correct? Is it correct? No. The statement A is not correct because the CP is given as 750, but we got the answer as 700, right? So we are going to check that. So it is actually 700. So this is wrong. So you need to choose the correct statements. So can I eliminate option 1, option 2? Am I right? Can I eliminate option 1, option 2? Can I? Yeah, CP is given, but we want to check whether that is correct. We cannot just substitute and then maybe like we can substitute and then check that whether it is equal to. That's what. That is also right. Maybe like if you want CP, if you substitute CP here. Okay, if you substitute CP instead of CP, you substitute 750, you get a different selling price. By that also you can identify. Okay. So, and now you are going that you understood that this is a wrong statement. And by that, you can easily eliminate option 1 and 2 because you need to choose the correct statements. And now will you check option B or option C or statement C or statement D? Which one will you check? Which one will you check? By the strategy, which one will you check? Option statement B, statement C, or statement D? Yeah, I will tell you that you need to select, you need to take statement D and check, because if you check that statement D is correct, maybe like then you can go to B, C, D are correct. Okay, because D is the correct one. So you'll get D is if D is correct one, only one option with D is there. So you can have that B, C, D are correct. And if you get D is a wrong option, you can go with the option B and C only because D is not there. Like that, that strategy you need to check. Okay, that strategy you need to follow. Don't go with B, C, D, and no, in order you need to check. Okay, so now what we have is we are going to check D option. Okay, now we are going to check D option. Okay, so if a person gains 6.25% by selling an item for 29, the cost price of the item is 26. Okay, so 6.25% profit. So it will be, the in effect person will be 106.25 by 100, right? So into CP is what? 26. So we need to check whether you are getting this one as the answer. So 106.25. So it will be, it is equal to, it is somewhat equal to 27.62 you will get. That is the selling price. This is the selling price. But here the selling price is given as 29.75. It is wrong. So this statement is wrong. So we can eliminate this option also. The only correct option is B and C. That is it. Okay. B and C only is the option. That is what. Okay. So that is how you need to answer the statement level question. Now you need not check B and C whether it is correct. It will be correct. It will be correct. Is it clear? Yes. Solve B. It is like 10 by 100 into 20 by 100 into 25 by 100 into 200 is what? This and this will get cancelled 1 by 4. This is 1 by 5. This is 1 by 10. So 10 into 5 into 4 is 200. So 200, 1 by 200 into 200, that is 1. That is all. Cancel it, everything. That's what. Yeah, fine. Yes. Explain C. 25 by 100 into X is equal to 30 by 100 into Y. Okay. And then the value for X for Y. So Y is given as 5,000. So just substitute Y as 5,000. So just take Y as 5,000 here. You will get the value of X as 6,000. Yeah, definitely you will get. Maybe like this is 4, 1 by 4. So X will be equal to 30 into 50 into 4. So it is 6,000. Yeah. Because y x, the value of x for y 5,000 is 6,000. When y you substitute x 5,000, you should get the value of x as 6,000. You will get. Clear? Fine. That is what Z, and it is correct only. So B and C you got correct. So what we have done, the strategy is a very important. A you find out. Okay. So it is wrong. So you can eliminate 1 and 2. And then you go to D directly. And if D is right, you can go with the option B, C, D correct. And if B is wrong, you can go with the option B and C. So we got B as wrong, and then we went with B and C only. Clear? Yeah, that's it. So can I move on to the next one? Maybe like also just you can see the recording once again. That's what. So if the cost of 3 kilogram of potatoes and 4 kilogram of tomatoes is 100, maybe like tomatoes or maybe like anything, any pronunciation, maybe 4 kilogram of potatoes and 3 kilogram of tomatoes is rupees 110. Then the rate of tomatoes per kilogram is very easy. You can derive the equation and then find the answer. Let the cost of 1 kilogram of potato be X. Okay, be X. And the cost of 1 kilogram of tomato be Y. Okay, so 3 kilogram potato means it is 3X plus 4 kilogram of tomatoes 4Y. It is equal to 100. And now you have 4X plus 3Y is equal to 110. You know how to eliminate. You can just multiply this with 4 and just multiply this with 3. You'll get the answer. So it is 12X plus 16Y is equal to 400. And 12X plus 9Y is equal to 330. You know how to solve this, right? No? When you have two equations, you know how to solve it. Yeah. And you need the rate of tomatoes. That means Y. So that is why I am eliminating X. So just you can cancel this. 16 minus 9Y is 7Y. That's equal to 70. So Y is equal to 70 by 7. The answer is 10. So you need Y actually. You need the cost of tomato per kilogram. So that is 10. So the answer here is 10. Yeah, right. Getting the idea, everyone? Is it clear? Yes. Great. A question related to speed of the boat in still water, and if we can travel 26 kilometer downstream and 14 kilometer upstream in the same time, the speed of the stream is what? Okay. See, listen. Whenever you have upstream and downstream question, and see, imagine that the speed of boat in still water. Speed of boat in still water is given as, let it be, okay, I'm just telling you about X and Y. Let it be now X. It is given already. Let me take the X and then I will explain you the concept. And speed of the stream, it is equal to Y. Okay. And now, if this, actually, if it is a stream, there will be a current. That is why, what is the speed of stream? And for the boat, there will be a still water speed also. And if it is moving against the current, against the stream speed or the flow of the stream, it is called upstream. It is not like, it is a steep or a slope like that. It is moving against the current, upstream. So the upstream speed will be X minus Y. That means it will reduce. And the downstream speed will be X plus Y. That is the idea. Okay. So the upstream speed will be X minus Y and the downstream speed will be X plus Y. Okay. So now you are given with speed of boat in still water. What is speed of boat in still water? It is given 10 kilometer per hour. But the speed of the stream is not given. Let it be Y kilometer per hour. Okay. So from that, can you give me the equation for upstream speed? What is the equation for upstream speed? What is the equation for upstream speed? That is upstream speed. That is X minus Y. So that can be what? It is 10 minus Y. Am I right? And what is the downstream speed? It will be 10 plus Y. Am I right? The speed of upstream and downstream, right? So that is how you need to take every time. So if you have given with the speed of the boat in still water and the speed of the stream, if you have to have the upstream speed, it is X minus Y and downstream X plus Y. So here one quantity is given. That is why I have taken 10 and another is Y. Okay. If it can travel 26 kilometer downstream. So in the case of downstream, what happens? The distance given is 26 kilometer. And you know the speed of downstream is 10 plus Y. Okay, what is the time taken there? The time is equal to time 1. T1 is equal to distance by speed. That is equal to 26 by 10 plus Y. Am I right? I have equations to frame, let it be there. And now the case for upstream, if it is traveling 14 kilometer upstream. So D will be equal to 14 kilometer. And the speed of the upstream is 10 minus y given. And what is the time too? That means upstream time, that is distance by speed. That is 14 by 10 minus y. Why I am taking the time? Because it is told that it covers 26 kilometer downstream and 14 kilometer upstream in the same time. So that we can equate the time. So actually what the idea is, T1 equal to T2 is given. So now equate that. 26 by 10 plus y will be equal to 14 by 10 minus y. Now easy, it can just cross multiply and find the answer of y. That is what they need. Clear? So just cross multiplying it, just take it and cross multiplying it. So it will be 26 into 10 minus y is equal to 14 into 10 plus y. So it is 260 minus 26y is equal to 140 plus 14y. So it is 260 minus 140 will be equal to 26y plus 14y. So this is 120 is equal to 30y. So y will be equal to 120 by 30. So y is equal to 4 kilometer per hour. That is 4 kilometer. So the speed of the stream is 4 kilometer per hour. The speed of the stream is 4 kilometer per hour. Sorry, 3? You got, oh my God, that's 40, 40. Yeah, I got a mistake. It's 40, 40. Sorry for the mistake. It's 40. I just wrote it as 30. So it's 40. So it will be 3 kilometer per hour. That's it. 12 by 4 is 3. Yeah. So remember that every time if you have a speed of boat in still water and the speed of a stream, what is upstream speed? You need to subtract the speed. Okay. And if it is downstream, you need to add the speed. Upstream means going against the current. The boat is going against the current. Boat, even a man is swimming. Even if it is against, it should be taken like subtract. And the boat is moving with the current, it will be downstream. Okay. And then you need to add the speed. That is how I got x minus y and x plus y, because if the speed of the boat in still water was x, but it is given already. So that is 10. So that is why I took 10 instead of x. Okay. So that is how the idea is. The next question. What is the time taken by a train of length 200 meter traveling at a speed of 60 meter per second to cross a person traveling at a speed of 36 kilometer per hour in the same direction? Oh my God. Good question. The length of the train is given and it is crossing a person. Okay. So my question is, what will be the distance covered? What will be the distance covered? It is crossing a person. Okay. The person is having negligible length. It is not a idea like, what is with a bridge or a platform or another train. It is actually like you have the train is crossing a person or crossing a negligible length. So as the length of the train is given as 200 meter, you can take the distance covered as 200 meter. Clear? And the speed of the train is given as 60 meter per second. Okay. And the speed of the man is given as, or the person is given as 36 kilometer per hour. Here, there are two moving objects. One is the train and one is the man. Man is also running. Okay. So train is traveling and also the person is also traveling at a speed or running at a speed of 36 kilometer. But here it is in meter per second. Here it is in kilometer per hour. Convert this to meter per second. How will you? It will be 5 by 18. So we can cancel this 2. It will be 10 meter per second. Okay. So if two objects are moving, what is the speed that you should consider? What is the speed that you should consider? If two objects are moving, what is the speed that you should consider? The speed that you should consider is relative speed. Relative speed. Okay. A relative speed you should consider. A relative speed. And what will be the relative speed of two moving objects in the same direction? Whether you should add or subtract. Moving in the same direction. Because here it is same direction. You should subtract. You should subtract. Great. So 60 minus 10, that will be equal to 50 meter per second. Right? Now you have the time taken. You need to find the time. T is equal to distance by speed. So it is 200 by 50. That is 4 seconds will be the answer. That's all. A question which is a very easy question, but you need to have the idea about the distance covered when a train is crossing a man or a person. And you need to have an idea about when there are two moving objects in the same direction, you should take the relative speed. Only the speed, relative speed should be considered. Okay. The answer is 4 seconds. Right. Yeah. Going to the next question. The speed of the boat in still water is 35 km per hour. Very good. Again, the speed distance question. Okay. Speed of boat in still water is given. Speed of boat in still water is given as 35 km per hour. And the speed of the current is also given. Speed of the stream is also given. Okay. Speed of the stream is also given as 15 km per hour. Okay, my question. What will be the upstream speed? Everyone, guys, what will be the upstream speed? Tell me. What will be the upstream speed? I have told you later. Sorry, I have told you earlier. What is the upstream speed? Exactly. You need to subtract it. You need to subtract it. Okay, so 35 minus 15, it will be 20 km per hour. Just subtract the speed. And what will be the downstream speed? What will be the downstream speed? Yeah, it will be addition of 30 and 35 and 50. 15, it is 50 km per hour. That's it. You got the idea. Now, then how much time in hours will be taken by the boat to travel a distance of 190 km downstream? Yeah, you need to find the time to cover downstream. So time is equal to distance by speed formula. What is the distance covered? 190. What is the speed in downstream? Because downstream, okay. So 50. 190 by 50, you will get the answer. 3.8 hours. Because it is already in kilometer per hour and kilometer. So you'll get the answer of time in hours. That's what. So if you have this idea how to get the upstream speed, downstream speed, easily you can crack this question. 3.8 is the answer. So second option. Going good? Clear? You got the idea of upstream, downstream, right? Good. That's what. Yes. Question. A shopkeeper purchased 10 kilogram of basmati rice at the rate of rupees 50 per kilogram and 15 kilogram of ordinary rice at the rate of rupees 20 per kilogram. He mixed the two varieties of rice and sold it at it for a gain of 25%. What was his sale price? That means per kilogram price. What was that? Yeah. Just see that he have 10 kilogram of basmati rice. Okay. And at 50 per kilogram. Okay. So at 50 per kilogram, at 50 per kilogram. So the total cost price, total CP here will be 500. Right? 15 to 10. And 15 kilogram of ordinary rice. Okay, maybe like my writings are not clear. Sorry for that. At the rate of 20 per kilogram. So the total CP here is rupees 300. Am I right? So the total CP of that shopkeeper will be 800 rupees. Because when you add this 500 plus 300, when you add this, you will get 800. Okay, 800. And see, he sold it at a gain for 25%. Maybe you can find the CP. That see, it will be, if you want 25% profit, it should be 125 by 100. Okay, 800 into 125 by 100. Okay, so it's actually, if you have, you can cancel the zeros. This will be 1000. Okay, 125. Sorry, maybe like I can write this. You get distracted by finding. Okay, so let it be 800 here. And if I want the SP, total selling price, if I want, it is 125 by 100 into 800 because 25 percentage gain. So on this cost price, he got 25 percentage. So it will be 1000 here. And now 1000 entirely he got the selling price. Total kilogram is actually what? 10 and 15. So total 25 kilogram, he sold it for 1000 rupees. So for 1 kilogram, how will you? 1000 by 25. You'll get the answer as 40 per kilogram. Answer is 40 per kilogram. That is the answer. Yes. Basic idea of profit and loss percentage. If you have this, no, gain 25 percentage. If you have the idea of ineffective percentage called 125 by 100, it is quite simple. Got the answer, everyone? So total CP you need to find out. And on that CP, he's getting 25 percentage profit. So you can find out the SP and then divide by the entire kilogram that he had because total 25 kilogram he had and 25 kilogram he sold it for 1000 rupees because he mixed the two varieties, not the separate quantities we need. That is what. Can we move on to the next one, everyone? Yeah, again, a statement level question that you have. See, just try it out. Just try it out. I'll give you 1 minute of time, everyone. YouTube babies and also the Zoom students, Zoom babies. Yeah, maybe like if I call Zoom babies, it will be a short form, will be zombies. Sorry for that. It's not a time to crack jokes. I know that you are in frustration, tension, and all. No worries. But can you just try it out? Can you just try it out? Just how elimination of the options can be done here. Yeah. Maybe like A and B. Which of the following statements are true you need? Okay. Which of the following statements are true? Yes, you're getting A as correct one. No, no. A is a wrong statement, right? Because X meter per second, you need to convert it to kilometer per hour. With what number you will multiply? X meter per seconds to kilometer per hour. It's 18 by 5, not 5 by 18. It's 18 by 5. So that's wrong. It is wrong. It is given as 5 by 18. No, it's not. It is 18 by 5 kilometers. So the first one is wrong, right? It is wrong. Okay, so the first one is wrong that you got. Clear. First one is wrong. Which of the options that you can eliminate? You can eliminate this one. You can eliminate this one because you need to find out which of the following statements are true. Okay, 1 and 2 you can eliminate. And now you can go with which of the statements that you can go with? B, C, D, which one? You can go with B because if B is wrong, you can go with this option because here B is wrong. So only C and D only will be correct. That is the left option. But if C is right, you need to go with, if C is right also, you can go with B, C, D because if B is right, right? So there is now another option called BC, and another option. Only B and C is not there. So if B is right also, you can go with option 3. That is how the strategy is. So only 2 you should do. Okay. So please check with B right now. B right now. So you can do B. Okay. So this is wrong as you got. So a train runs at 5 by 6. If a train runs at 5 by 6 of its usual speed, so maybe like its usual speed be X. Okay. It gets late by 10 minutes. Okay. The normal time and the usual time of the train to cover the journey is 40 minutes. So let T be 40 minutes. Okay. So if train runs 5 by 6 of its usual speed, so the new speed maybe is equal to 5 by 6 of x. Okay. And it is of the same distance. Okay. So distance is equal to speed into time we can. So here the time will be 40 plus 10. 10 minutes late by 10 minutes, it will be 50. So you need to get the idea that if x into 40 is equal to 5 by 6 x into 40 is equal to that. X and x will get cancelled. 40 is not equal to 250 by 6. No. If 250 by 6 is somewhat related with the 41 point something. 250 by 6 is equal to 41.6. So it is not equal to 40. So it is not equal. So that answer is wrong. That statement is wrong. B is wrong. It's wrong. Yeah, you can check that. Yeah. No, you should check that whether it is right. You can equate the distance. Okay, see here one case the speed is if the speed is x, t is 40. And if the speed is 5 by 6x, it is time will be 50. 10 minutes late, right? So you need to check, you can equate the distance, speed into time. Here, speed into time. This is the speed into time. This is also speed into time. So if this is equal, then the statement is correct. But if it is not correct, it's not, just not. So can we go with the option C and D only? Can we go with the option C and D? Because B is also wrong, right? So we are only left with the option called C and D. So this will be correct, C and D only. Right? That's all. Don't do C and D. You will find out that that's correct. Okay. That's what. I'm not doing C and D because I don't have time to do because it's correct. Just try it out later. C and D is the only option. Next one. The interest earned on rupees 8,000 when invested on some scheme for 2 years at 7% simple interest per annum is half of the interest earned on another amount P invested for 5 years in the same scheme at the same rate of interest. Find the value of P. Yes, can you? So it is just, you have two simple interests. So SI1 is equal to, you have the formula PRT by 100. So it is 8,000 into R rate is 7 into 2 by 100. So you'll have 56 and 1120, right? So SI1 is equal to half of SI2. It is given. So 1120 is equal to half into P is not given for the same rate, but the year is different for 5 years by 100. So we can just solve this and get P from that. Just take it 1120 into 200 by 35. You'll get P. Yes, and you can cancel this. I think you'll get 32. Maybe like by 7 or 5 you can cancel. 32 into 200. So entirely P will be equal to 6,400. P will be equal to 6,400. Question seems a little bit lengthier one, but the idea is simple. See, the interest. So you need to find the first interest, and the first interest is the half of the second one. So in that you need to find the P. Everything is given. Only P is the variable that you need to find out. So you will get it. That's what. Read the question, then you will get the idea to solve the equation. That's what. Clear? Can we move on to the next question? Fine. Yes. Find the sum of money which will amount to rupees 26,010 in 6 months at the rate of 8% per annum when interest is compounded quarterly. When interest is compounded quarterly. Okay. So you need to find the sum of money. What do you need to find out? Is it amount or is it principal? What is the sum? What is the thing? Find the sum of money which will amount to, and it is a compound interest. So what do you want to find out? Is it P or is it A? Is it the amount or P? You need to find P. You need to find P. Amount is given. So in a compound interest, amount is given. A is given as 26010. That is what it is, which will amount to. Okay. In 6 months at the rate of 8%. Rate per annum is given as 8%. Okay. So it is compounded quarterly. When it is compounded quarterly, with what number you will divide R to get the quarter amount, quarter rate? With what number you will divide rate? Yeah. You need to divide rate to get the quarter rate. So RQ, that is 8 by 4, that is 2% is the quarter rate amount, 2%. And you have 6 months. How many tenure in 6 months when you compound or when it is compounded quarterly? How many tenures in 6 months? Because there are 4 quarters of 3 months in a year. And if in 6 months there are 2 quarters. So the tenure will be 2. Right? Quarter means 3. So the tenure will be 2. That is the idea that you should have. So the formula for amount you need to remember, A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to T. So amount you have as 26010, you need to find P. P into 1 plus R is 2 by 100 the whole raised to 2. So 26010 is equal to P into 102 by 100 the whole square. Okay, so P into, we can cancel this by 2, it will be 51 by 50 the whole square. Okay, so and then it is like 26010 is equal to P into 51 into 51 into 50 by 50. Sorry, by 50 into 50. Just find out the multiplication, just you will get an idea how it works. So it will be 260,151 and it will be 2500. Here it will be 26010. See, it's related to 26010, right? You will get that no relation, definitely. So this you can cancel and it will be 10 here. So P will be equal to 10 into 2500. So P will be equal to 25,000. P will be equal to 25,000. Yeah, that is the option. 2 is the right answer that you have. Okay. So understand that find the sum of money which will amount to, if it is given amount to means it's an amount. Okay. It's not a principal. Okay. So amount is given and you need to find the sum of money. That's principal. Yes. If the duration were to be 1 year, the time would have been 4. T is 4. T is 4. T2, that's what I told you, because quarter, there are 3 months, quarter means 3 months, duration of 3 months. So in 6 months, there are 2 quarters. That is why tenure is 2, not 6, because the interest is compounded quarterly, right? Yeah, going with the next question, guys. These are the questions which has been asked in the previous times to arrange the following fractions in the descending order. Descending order means you need to get the larger fraction at the first and then the smaller one, like that. Larger at first and then the smaller one. Clear? So see, maybe these are smaller numbers. You can just don't like take the division and then find out. See, there's a possibility that not for every number, but for some numbers even you can take the difference of the numerator and denominator. What is the difference of this numerator and denominator here? It is 2, right? What is the difference of denominator and numerator here? It's 1. Here it is 3. And here it is 2. Here it is 7. Okay. So the difference between the numerator and denominator I took. Okay. The lesser difference will be the larger one. The lesser difference will be the larger one. Okay. The lesser difference will be the larger one. See, which is the one which is the lesser difference what we have? Which is the one which we have the lesser differences? B, because 8 minus 9 is 1. So B is the lesser one. So this will be the first option. This will be the larger one. Okay. And which is the difference, more difference, which is the difference more, larger difference that we have? Larger difference is 7. This will be the smaller one. So First should be B, last should be E. Which is the option that we have like that? That's it. BADC. That's what. BADC. That's what. You'll have the doubt that D and A comes at no like same difference. So what will be? That maybe like you should divide and find out. That's the only option. You can divide and find out. Okay. But you don't need that because you got B and E, B at the end and E at the end. There is only one option with like that. There is no confusing option again with D and A. Okay, so that's easier. It won't be. Yeah, you can apply with this all fractions. With all fractions. That is what when you do data interpretation and all. When you have the, I have told you once, when you have the, like bigger fractions, take the approximate number and then take the difference. And if the difference is larger, the ratio will be smaller. And if the difference is smaller, the ratio will be higher. Just opposite. Clear. Okay, that's what. Yeah, so the options will be B, A, D, C. Somebody just see the video once again, you'll get the idea. That's what. So B, A, D, C, that's what. Okay, so that is how the idea goes. So the descending order. Just see the larger number, smaller number, you'll get the idea. Yes. Yeah, now I'm going to the logical reasoning part because I won't finish because I just have 30 minutes more next if Aparna coming at 7:30. Yeah. I have questions on logical reasoning. Can I just find out? A deductive argument is valid if and only if it is impossible for the premises to be true while the conclusion is false. Inductive reasoning always leads to certain and absolute conclusions. Deductive argument is valid if and only if it is impossible for the premises to be true while the conclusion is false. Is it? Both statement 1 and 2 are false. If you are not believing that it is true. Okay. Read the statement once again. And statement 2 definitely it is wrong because statement 2, inductive reasoning always leads to certain and absolute conclusion. No, inductive is from specific to general. That means particular to general. Okay. See, a deductive argument is valid if and only if it is impossible for the premises. It is not possible for the premises to be true. You read it as possible, I think. That is why you read it as false. No. If it is impossible for the premises to be true while the conclusion is false, that is true. That is true. Deductive argument is valid if and only if it is impossible for the premises to be true while the conclusion is false. That is why when it is false, right? Valid. Yeah, you get confused. That's what. That is what. So that is why I told you read the question carefully once. Now, twice or thrice. Next one. Which fallacy is committed in the following? Which fallacy is committed in the following? Yeah, it is 3 is the answer. Since he is a leftist, he will not favor the policy even if it is beneficial for the people. Yes. Consider only as a question, not on any other backgrounds. And this was a BYQ actually. Which fallacy is committed in the following? Since he is a leftist, he will not favor the policy even if it is beneficial for the people. See, attacking the person, right? Attacking the person. What is the other name for that? It is argument against the person. Argument against the person. What is the other name for argument against the person? We have studied that. Attacking the people or attacking. Yeah, it is argumentum ad hominem. Argumentum ad hominem. Okay, argumentum ad hominem. That's what. That was no. It is not strawman argument. Strawman argument is actually weakening the opposition, weakening the argument. It's not the idea that is weakening it. Argument is not weakening because he's attacking the person, not strawman. Which of the following statements are so related that they cannot both be true, although they both may be false? Which of the following statements are so related that they cannot both be true, although they both may be false? Yes, so you need to get an idea that which are the ones that is so related that they can be true but they can be false. Which one? Which is the pair in square of opposition that you have? Which is a pair in square of opposition that you have? It's contrary pairs, A and D. So now check for A and D, that's all. Now check for A and D. All trees have roots, no trees have roots, that is the idea. Yeah, that's it. A and B goes with the answer. That's A and B. Yeah, 2. All trees have roots, no trees have roots. If the statement some students are not athletes is false, then which of the following statements, which of the following must be true? Which of the following must be true? If the statement some students are not athletes is false, then which of the following must be true? So in a square of opposition table, you need to get the idea. Okay, square of opposition table. A, E, I, O. Right, A, E, I, O. Okay, so O is given as false. O is given as false. And if O is given as false, E is actually false that you have. Okay, E is false actually have. And what will be I? What will be I? What will be I? Yeah, it must be true because what is the rule regarding subcontraries? I and O subcontrary both cannot be false at the same time. If one is false, other must be true, right? And O and A, what you have? If one is true, other is false. If one is false, other must be true. This is true again. So A and I is the must be true. Here must be true. If it is can be also, you can take this A and I. So all students are athletes and some students are athletes. A statement and I statement. That is it. So 1. That is contradictory between A and O, correct? And so A and C will be the right option. A and C. Right. So all students are athletes and some students are athletes. That is the idea. What the answer? That is correct. Okay. So square of opposition, make it clear. And I've told you that must be, can be, and all should be taken differently. So must be, can be included in the can be form, or maybe sorry, the can be form, but can be cannot be included. That is what. So true or false cannot be included in the must be statement. That is what the idea is. Again, a square of opposition 1. If the statement no politicians are scientists is true, which of the following statements can also be inferred as true? Can also be inferred as true. So read the question, then go with the answer. Again, you have A, E, I, and O. Yeah. If no politicians is E, it is an E statement, it is true. Definitely this will be false. This also will be false because contrary. This will be true because if the universal is true, the particular must be true. Okay, particular must be true. That is subaltern. Here, subaltern. B only. Because can also be inferred as true, not false. So it is B only, right? Not 1. B and D. B and D won't come. No, D is actually a different subject and predicate you have. Okay, so with this, if the universal is true, you have the particular as true itself. So that is the answer. Research, then in a research context, what does reliability refer to? Reliability. What do you mean by reliability? The consistency and stability of measurement, the generalizability of findings, the ethical conduct of the research, the accuracy of the statistical test. Actually, yeah, it's very easy that you can get from the options. Easy options are there. Because consistency and stability is what you mean by reliability, because it should be relied. The results can be relied upon. Generalizability is actually where you have a characteristic called generalizable. That means, for example, if it is for 30 people, it can be generalizable to 30,000 or 3 lakh, like that. What is the primary purpose of obtaining informed consent in research? Informed consent. That means it's somewhat an ethics in research ethics that you have. You should, when you study about some, maybe about a human culture or maybe even about animals, plants, like that. So you need to get informed consent. It is not like if you want to get consent from the animals, you go and take consent from, maybe like if you study about tigers, go and take consent from the tiger. Go in front of the tiger and ask that, can I study about you? No, it's not like that, but you need to get the consents from the concerned authorities, maybe like wildlife forums and all. To respect the participants' autonomy and rights. That is the primary purpose of obtaining informed consent. What characterizes a longitudinal research design? What characterizes a longitudinal research design? So longitudinal is actually what it is a research type where you are studying about or collecting variables or data collected, studying about an extended period or a period of time about the same topic. Okay, that is what you call as longitudinal research design. So it is actually, you have three. That's the correct option. Identify the similarities between quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative and qualitative research. Identify the similarities between quantitative and qualitative research. Just read, you will get the ideas. Both are concerned with data reduction. Both are concerned with variation in data. Both lay emphasis on contextual understanding. Both lay emphasis on generalization. Both are concerned with answering research questions. Similarities, you need to similarities. E, it is there, right? E. Because both are concerned with answering research questions. Okay. And both lay emphasis on generalization. Can qualitative be for general? Which one is for generalization? Is quantitative or qualitative for generalization? It is for quantitative. Generalization is for quantitative. Emphasis on contextual understanding. Contextual understanding. Qualitative. Contextual understanding is for qualitative. Variation in data, both can have variation in data. Okay, maybe like qualitative or quantitative. Concerned with data reduction is also correct for both qualitative and quantitative. Data reduction, the qualitative also can be data reduction. It is not given that it is statistical data reduction. It can be data reduction in qualitative as well as in quantitative. Criteria for hypothesis construction are. The criteria for hypothesis construction are. It should describe one issue only. It should describe many issues. It should specify variables between which the relationship is to be established. It should be specific and precise. It should be empirically testable whether it is right or wrong. Empirically testable, it should be correct. Because you have E. So then definitely only one option with E. That is the idea of eliminating options. That is what. Don't get confused with the other options, because if you're not getting E, E definitely right, because hypothesis should be tested. Empirical, scientifically it should be tested. So E should be there. So there is no option with E there, only 3. So the 3 is the option. Don't get worried with other options. Okay. The same thing that you can do with your subject paper also, paper 2. Okay. Maybe like the question will be larger, statements will be there. Elimination of option will be working. The most apt option or apt statement that you know, go with that and then eliminate. Okay. Don't get worried. It should describe one issue, that is correct, not many issues, and should specify variables between which a relationship is to be established. That's correct. And what is the name of the hypothesis that, no, what is the name of our original hypothesis that we have? Name of our original hypothesis. Name of the original hypothesis that you have. What you write. Yeah, this kind of logic you should use actually in exam. Good presence of mind you should have. That's what. Our original hypothesis is called as alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis. And what is the hypothesis which is contradictory or contrary to the alternative hypothesis that is stated? It is null hypothesis represented by H0. Represented by H0. Yes. You should match the following, match list with match list 2. The type of sampling and the meaning is given. The idea is that which is the one that you are more familiar with, go and match it and then come back to the options and eliminate options. That is what. Very easy. Select every ith item on the list. Systematic sampling maybe, like systematic sampling. C1. Is there an option with C1? There are two options with C1. And then go with probability sampling. Every item of the universe has an equal chances of inclusion in the sample or universe or population. That is what it is mean. B3. So B3, C1, again two options are there. Now you should go with A and C, A and D. Option 3, you have the answer. Yeah, correct. A2, stratified sampling. Population is divided into several sub-options and then selecting from sub-options. And the groups created are homogeneous. The population will be heterogeneous. And when you divide them into stratas, that stratas will be homogeneous. That groups will be homogeneous. And you select members randomly from every groups. That is stratified sampling. Okay. That is option. Yeah. Next one, what we have. Again with a research phrase or word, sampling frame, sample unit, sampling error, sample. Okay. Maybe like with sampling error, just okay. Sampling error. It is easy to connect sampling error. Or maybe sample D also. Very easy. Very easy. Sampling error, it because when a sample is not properly representing the population characteristic, C2. There is only one option with C2. That is the answer. Don't go to the other options and match and waste time. That is option. That is the answer. Clear. Next one. Deliberate sampling is also known as, we have discussed many times in the class and all, many times. What do you mean by deliberate sampling? Deliberate sampling. Yeah, it was in the model test also. Purposely, I have given you this again because you'll just give you the answer again as purposive sampling or probability sampling. No, it is purposive or non-probability sampling. Purposive or non-probability sampling, right? That's what, because purposive is not a probability type of sampling. Purposive sampling is a type of non-probability sampling. That is why they have given 2 as probability, because you will go with option 2 first, because you won't go with option 4. So at times net exams, maybe like we tell like MCQ questions, when we read the question, you finalize the answer and then go to the option. No, that won't work in exams like net, because you read the question, relate with the options and then finalize. In some questions you need that. Okay, at least in some questions. So deliberate sampling is the other name for purposive or non-probability sampling. Clear. What is the other name for purposive? One more. We have learned other two names also. What are the other names? What are the other names for purposive or deliberate sampling? It is judgmental sampling, right? And we have learned one more, that is authoritative sampling, right? Authoritative sampling we have learned. Great. See, these are the names for purposive. What is the other name for snowball sampling this year? Snowball sampling. What is the other name for snowball sampling? Yeah, it is chain referral sampling. One by one, it is chain referral sampling. Yeah, that's it. Quota sampling is it's a non-probability sampling only. In which of the following research methods, manipulation and control of variables and randomization of sample are the two basic requirements? Yes. The keyword is there. Manipulation and control of variables. Randomization of sample, it's actually random sampling. That's probability sampling techniques. That's what. Basically, that is a quantitative type of research, experimental research. Quantitative type. Basically, probability sampling methods goes with the quantitative research. That is, experimental research is a quantitative research. Basically, the keyword is the manipulation and control of variables. If it is there, that is experimental. Manipulation of variables are there. And without the manipulation of research, if you are establishing a relationship, what is that type of research called? Without the without the manipulation of variables. No, you are establishing a relation between variables. Ex post facto is different. Ex post facto is after the fact research. A fact is being developed and then you are researching on that. You are establishing a relationship between two variables without the manipulation. You are establishing a cause and effect relationship by manipulating is experimental. Yeah, without a manipulation is correlational. Without a manipulation is correlation research. We have studied correlation research and we studied that there is a value in correlation research that you will get. What was that value? What was that value? Correlation. I told you that there will be statistical measures. You will get a value in between -1 and 1. And what is that value called? It is correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. Do you remember that? Correlation coefficient. -1 to 1 you have. Okay. Please read that PPTs once again. If you want to understand the theoretical reasons that led researchers to conduct a study that appeared as a research article in a journal, you would read which of the following sections of research article? Theoretical reasons. Theoretical reasons. Theoretical reasons. You need to understand that why some researchers led, why that team of researchers did this. Will you read? So from where you will get the need of the study or theory of the study? Is it from the discussions or is it from the abstract? Is it from this introduction? Is it from the results? You'll get it from the introduction, not from the abstract. Sorry. You'll get it from the introduction because in introduction only it is there. You have the basic idea of the need, significance, theory is all are there in the introduction part. Right. Next one. When the population is divided into groups, into homogeneous groups and samples are drawn from each group, it is, I just told you this when we discussed it. Yes. When the population is divided into homogeneous groups and samples are drawn from each group, it is not quota. It is stratified. It is stratified. It is stratified. Quota, it is homogeneous and samples are drawn not from each group because it is actually a random sample. It should be samples are drawn on based on minimum or maximum number, or basically samples are drawn according to the quotas fixed. That is what we call as quota sampling. Clear? That is what we call as quota sampling. It is not quota, it is stratified. So samples which are drawn from each group, it is stratified. Yeah. That's what I had with a quick revision on all the 4 topics. Maybe like it would have felt like a maybe like a bullet train going with all those maths options, DI options, then research options, then logic options, and then research aptitude. So that was it. I think both the YouTube babies and our students are very happy on that. So study hard. You have 4 or 5 more days for the exam, and write well. Have a good presence of mind. Okay, take it very cool, like that. You have already learned much. Okay, you have already learned much. That is what. So have a good presence of mind, and that what we have discussed. Maybe like eliminating the options, all those things you practice more. And from now onwards, don't study anything new. Revise all those things that you have learned. Revise it. Revision is very important. That is the one that you should have. Clear? Yeah. So I'm now handing over the session to Aparna. Aparna will be here in minutes. So let us take a small 1 minute break, 1 or 2 minutes break, and then we'll continue. I'll make Aparna the host and then I'll leave. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, all. Right. Do you need a 5 minutes break? Hi. Did Jobin give you a 5 minute break? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So I'll give you a 5 minutes break. Okay. Then we'll start. Um, okay, guys. So how's your preparations going? All good? Yeah. So do revise the things you have learned till now. Okay. Yeah, we'll be doing mathematical reasoning and aptitude. We'll be continuing with that. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, shall we start then? So I'll be giving you question. And I'll be giving you time. Okay. Yeah. So this is the first question for you, right? Your time starts now. Please do it. Okay, your time's up. So, shall I do? Hello. So, yeah, I got disconnected. I'm really sorry for that. So we were talking about coding decoding question. Sorry, find out the old one. So that is somewhat similar, like series and coding decoding, where we have to find out the logic. What is the logic here? Okay. So 25631. If you look at these numbers, when you add these numbers, 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus 1, what will you get? When you add 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus 1, what will you get? Very good, 17. When you add these digits of 5 plus 2 plus 1 plus 6 plus 3, what will you get? What will you get? When you add the digits, you will get 17. When you add this digit, then also you will get 17. How about 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2? 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. That is 16. That is 16. How about 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4? 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4. Yes, that will be 17. So the odd one out here is 16. Okay, it might be really simple. The logic might be really simple, but you have to tackle it down. That's it. So what you have to do is you have to be calm and you have to think all the ways you can to get the answer. Okay, no need to get worried. The question will be very simple. Now, the next question. Please do it. Your time starts now. Okay, so what is the answer here? Raju cycled 8 kilometers north, then he turned right and traveled 2 kilometers, then turned right again and traveled 1 kilometer. In which direction is Raju traveling now? That is the question. So Raju cycled 8 kilometers north. So let's say this is north. So Raju cycled 8 kilometers north. This is 8 kilometers. Okay, then he turned right. So if he is facing this side, the right side will be this side and travel for 2 kilometers. So let's say this is 2 kilometers. Okay, then turned right again and traveled 1 kilometer. So again he is turning right. So and traveled 1 kilometer. The question is, in which direction is Raju traveling now? Okay, in which direction is Raju traveling now? So this was north. This is north. So Raju is traveling towards south now. Okay, Raju is traveling towards south. So option B, south is the answer. Is it clear? Option B, south is the answer. Is it clear for you guys? Right? Okay, moving on to the next question. Please do it. Okay, the time's up. Shall I do? So here, the question is, the word hello is coded as KHOOR. Then what is the code for the word world? You have to find out the code for the word world. Hello. Okay, so HELLO. Hello is coded as KHOOR. So after H, IJK. K is the third letter. After E, FGH. H is the third letter. After L, MNO. O is the third letter. Again, there is an L. Then O, PQR. Right. So the code is actually +3. The code is actually +3. So you have to do +3 for the word world. Okay. So WORLD. So after W, what you have? W, X, Y, Z. Okay. So Z. Now, so from that itself, you can choose option D. Option D will be the answer. Right. Now, there is no other option in which you have Z in the beginning. So you can choose option D. That will be the answer. But I'm just doing the rest. Okay. No need for you to do that in the exam hall. You can just stop it by that. Now, O, P, Q, R. Okay. Right. R, S, T, U. Then L, M, N, O. D, E, F, G. So, Z, R, U, O, G. Okay, Z, R, U, O, G will be the code. Z, R, U, O, G will be the code. Is it clear for everyone? Right? Moving on to the next question. Please do it. Okay. So A represents, okay. A represents plus, B represents minus, C represents division, and D represents multiplication. Then 18A, 12C, 6D, 2B, 5 is equal to what? Okay. So 18A means A is what? A is plus. A is plus. So 18 plus 12. C is what? Division. 6 divided by 6. D is what? Multiplication into 2. D is minus 5 is equal to what? So first you have to use Bodmer's rule. Right. So the preference should be given to division first. So 12 divided by 6. What will you get? 12 divided by 6. You will get 2. Into 2 minus 5. So next, the preference should be given to what? Next preference should be given to multiplication. So 18 plus 2 into 2 is 4 minus 5. Right? So the next preference should be given to addition. So 18 plus 4 is 22. So 22 minus 5 and you will get 17 as the answer. Okay, you will get 17 as the answer. Is it clear? Is it clear for you? Right? Okay, moving on to the next question. Do it. Okay, the time's up. So, what's the answer? How will you get the answer for this question? Yes, you do, babies. What is the fourth number in the given sequence? What is the fourth number in the given sequence? 4, 7, 12. So this is an series question. Okay, so 4, 7, 12. This is not an AP. What is an AP? AP is kind of series, but the common difference will be same for AP. I mean, the difference will be common. Okay, for AP, the difference will be common. What is the difference here? 4 plus 4 and 7, the difference is 3. 7 and 12, the difference is 5. So this is not an AP. Okay, this is series, not an AP. Clear? So plus 3 plus 5. So next it should be plus 7. Right, next it should be plus 7. So 12 plus 7 will be what? 12 plus 7 will be 19. That will be the answer. Okay, 19 will be the answer. Moving on to the next question. Do it. Yes. What is the angle that the hour hand of a clock turns in a day? Right. What is the, yeah, in a day. So what is the angle made by our hand in 1 hour? What is the angle made by our hand in 1 hour, guys? You two babies, do you know? What is the angle made by our hand in 1 hour? That is our hand, okay? 30 degree. In 1 hour, our hand will, if suppose if it is 12 o'clock, after 1 hour, the hour hand will be facing towards 1. So that is one equal part. One equal part is 30 degree. I hope you remember. Right. So 30 degree. So in 1 hour, it will be 30 degree. So they have asked in a day. So how many hours are there in a day? 24 hours. So 30 into 24, 720 will be the answer. 720 degree will be the answer. Is it clear? 720 degree will be the answer. Now, moving on to the next question. Please do it. Okay. Q, who's the father of P, is the son of R. P and S are the children of K. Then how is S related to R? That is the question. Okay. Q, who is the father of P. So Q is the father of P. Okay. Q, who is the father of P, is the son of R. Okay, Q is the son of R. Okay, P and S are children. This minus is for denoting that he is a male. Okay, it's a male. So P and S are children of K. So P and S are children of K. So we know that P is the child of Q and S and P are siblings, and P and S are children of K. That means they are married. So this will be a female. K will be a female. Okay, because Q is a male. Then how is S related to R? That is the question. How is S related to R? S is the grandchild of R. Okay, S is the grandchild of R. You have to keep it in your mind that they haven't given the gender. Okay, suppose in the question, if it instead of this grandchild, if it was grand daughter. Okay, if it was granddaughter, and instead of son, you have grandson. Okay, then cannot be determined. Which one will you choose? Then cannot be determined. Which one will you choose? Cannot be determined. You have to choose cannot be determined. Okay, why? Because you can't find they haven't mentioned about the gender here, so it can be a granddaughter or grandson. Okay, and suppose they have given a grandson. Okay, they have given grandson instead of son, and instead of grandchild they have just given cannot be determined. Which one will you choose now? Okay, that is determined. So which one will you choose now? Then also you have to choose cannot be determined. Okay, don't choose grandson because you don't know the gender. Clear? You want me to repeat it again? Okay, fine, I'll do. So Q, who is the father of P? So Q is the father of P. Okay, so we know the gender of Q. And Q is the father of P. Is the son of R. So Q is also Q, who is the father of P, is also the son of R. Okay. P and S are children of K. So we already have P here. P and S are children. So P and S are the same generation. Are children of K. K will be in the above generation. Okay. P and S are children of K. So we know that Q is already a parent of, like, father of P. So K will be the mother. Okay. K will be the mother. So they are married. The question is, how is S related to R? So S is actually the grandchild of R. Okay. S is actually the grandchild of R. Clear? Moving on to the next question. Do it. Shall I do? Nila walked 3 kilometers south from her house. Okay. Nila walked 3 kilometers south from her house. Okay. Then she turned right and walked 1 kilometer. She turned right and walked 1 kilometer. Okay, this is 1 kilometer, right? Okay. Then she walked right, left, right, so on for 1 kilometer each. So first she walked right, then again right 1 kilometer. Okay. Then left 1 kilometer. Then again right 1 kilometer. Okay. Again left, right? Yeah, left 1 kilometer. Then again right 1 kilometer. Okay. How far is Nila from her house? Now in which direction? So how far Nila is from her house? So if you look at this vertical, it is 1 plus 1 plus 1. Total is 3. Right. Total is 3, same height as this. Right? Now, if you look at this horizontal lines, 1, is it? Yeah, 1 plus 1 plus 1. So this will be 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 will be 3. So 3 kilometer exactly towards left. So 3 kilometer west will be the answer. Okay, 3 kilometer west will be the answer. Is it clear? 3 kilometer west will be the answer. Is it clear for you guys? Moving on to the next question. Do it. Okay. When the time on a clock is 3:30, what will be the time in the reflection of the mirror? Okay, what will be the time in the reflection of the mirror? Right, 1 minute. So what will be the time in the reflection of the mirror is the question. Right. So the time on the clock is 3:30. The time on the clock is 3:30. So I have told, like, if you have a time that is greater than, okay, if you have a time that is greater than 11 o'clock, you have to subtract that time from 2360. You have to subtract that time from 2360. If you have a time that is less than 11 o'clock, you have to subtract that time from 1160. You have to subtract that time from 1160. Okay. You have to subtract that time from 1160. So here 3:30. So this time, is it greater than 11 o'clock or less than 11 o'clock? It is less than 11 o'clock, right? It is less than 11 o'clock. So you have to subtract from 1160. So 1160 minus 330. What will you get? 1160 minus 330. That will be 8:30. So 8:30 p.m. or AM, we don't know that because it is not said in the question. So it is 8:30. Anyway, for reflection, there is no PM and AM. Yeah, 8:30 will be the answer. Okay, 8:30 will be the answer. Is it clear? Is it clear for you? Moving on to the next question. Please do it. Okay, what will be the answer for this question? P was born on October 4, 1999. Q was born 6 days before that. If that year Independence Day was on Sunday, on what day was Q born? That is the question. Okay, so on which day we celebrate Independence Day? You have to know some dates of some important like day. Okay, you have to remember the dates of some important days, both in teaching aptitude, research aptitude, the higher education. Okay, some years and dates are very important. Environment. Okay, so you should be knowing all those days. Okay, right? So Independence Day comes on August 15th. Right, August 15th. So here, P was born on October 4th. Q was born 6 days before that. So on which day will be Q born? Q was born 6 days before that. So P was on 1999 October 4. Right. So Q will be born on which date? Tell me. September 1999, 6 days before. Right. It is 6 days, not year. 6 days. Yeah. So it is 1999 September 28. 1999 September 28. Okay, September 28. So, it is said that Independence Day was on Sunday. Okay, so Independence Day was on Sunday. So, August 15 was on Sunday, right? August 15 was on Sunday. So, is August 15 is Sunday. Next Sunday will be which day? Next Sunday in August will be after 7 days. So August 22. Next Sunday will be August 29 after 7 days. Next will be after August to September. Next day, Sunday will be September 5th. You have to add 7. Okay, September 5th will be Sunday. Next will be September 12th. Right. So check it and tell me which one will be the answer. Yes. So what you have to do? September 12th is next Sunday. So after September 12th, it will be September 19th. Right. September 19th will be next Sunday. Then it will be September 26th, which is the day we have to find out. We have to find out September 28th. So 26 is Sunday. So if 26 is Sunday, then 27 will be Monday and 28 will be Tuesday. So option D, Tuesday will be the answer. Is it clear? Option D, Tuesday will be the answer. Is it clear? Okay, I'll explain it again. Don't worry. Is it clear for you, YouTube babies? Where are my YouTube babies? I'll do it once again. Okay, so it is said that P was born on October 4th, 1999. Q was born 6 days before that. So calculate 6 days before that. It will be September 8th, 28th. September 28th. And they said that Independence Day was on Sunday. Independence Day is on August 15th, and that is a Sunday. Okay, so next Sunday will be after 7 days. So 15 plus 7 is 22. So that will be Sunday. Subtract 6 days from October 4. You will get, yeah, subtract 6 days from October 4. Then you will get September 28. Okay, so 15, 22, 29 will be August 15, August 22, August 29 will be the Sundays of August. Okay, now September 5th, 12th, 19th, 26th will be the Sundays of September. How did we calculate that? We just added 7 days from August 15. Okay, so 15 was a Sunday, plus 7 will give you next Sunday, plus 7 will give you next Sunday. That's how we found out the Sundays of August and September. And we got September 26 was a Sunday. We have to find out the day of September 28th. So September 26 is Sunday. So 27 will be Monday and 28 will be Tuesday. Clear? Is it clear for you? Moving on to the next question. Do this. Okay, what is the answer for this question? Shall I do? So here in 10 liters of a mixture of milk and water, the amount of milk is 60%. How many more liters of milk must be added to make it 75%? Okay, so in 10 liters of mixture of milk and water, so the total liters, okay, so the total liters is 10 liters. Okay, the amount of milk is 60%. So 60% of milk will be, what will be 60% of this liters, this 10 liters? What will be 60% of this 10 liters? Yes, 6 liters. Right. So milk will be 6 liters. So you have to find out how many more liters should be added, liters of milk should be added so that the amount of milk in the liquid would be 75%. the amount of milk in this liquid would be in total 75%. Okay, so did anyone thought that you have to add 1.5 liter? Is there anyone who thought, okay, you have to get 75%, so just add 1.5 liter? Yeah. Okay. That won't be the case. Why? Because when you are adding 1.5, the total liters is also getting added. Right. Then it won't be 75% of the total. What we want is whatever be the total liters of this mixture, milk and water, the milk should be 75% of that. That is why we can't add directly add 1.5 to it. Clear? So I'll just show you what you have to do in such questions. So here, yeah. So here, 6 liters you already have. Let's say X is the number of liters which you have to add more so that the total amount of milk in this mixture would be 75%. Okay. So X is equal to, okay. How will you find out 70? How will you write 75% in fraction? How will you write 75% in fraction? How will you write 75% in fraction? 75 by 100, right? 75 by 100, or you can also write as 3 by 4, but let's say 75 by 100. So 6 plus x, our condition is that 6 plus x liters should be equal to, you already have 10 liters, so the x will be added to this also, right? This x will be added to this also. This should be 6 plus x should be 75% of this. That is what is the condition. That is the condition of the question. Right, that is the condition. So 6 plus x is equal to, we can cancel this. Okay, so 750 by 10, 100 will be 75 by 10 plus 75x by 100. Isn't it? 75x by 100. So this you can write it as x. Is it clear? Is it clear for you, you two babies? 6. Is it clear for you guys? 6 plus x will be equal to 7.5 plus 3 by 4x. Right. 7.5 plus 3 by 4x. Isn't it? So bring x to one side and the numbers to the other side. Don't worry, I'll repeat it again. Okay. So bring x to one side and the numbers to the other side. So this will be x minus 3 by 4x is equal to 7.5 minus 6. Okay. 7.5 minus 6. So you have to make this fraction, make this denominator same. So this will be 4x minus 3x by 4 is equal to 1.5. Right. So 4x minus 3x would be x. Right. So I'm writing it here now. So x by 4 is equal to 1.5. So x will be equal to 1.5 into 4, that is 6. So you have to add another 6 liters so that the amount of milk will be 75% of the total mixture. Right. So this is what you have to do. So I'll repeat it again. Please listen. So here you have total liters as 10 liters. You have in total 10 liters of milk and water together. Okay. You have 10 liters of milk and water together. So the amount of milk here is 60%. So 60% of 10 liter would be 6 liter. Right. 60% of 10 liter would be 6 liter. And the condition is we have to add some more milk to it so that the milk would be 75% of the total mixture you have of milk and water. Okay, so let's say X is the milk you are going to add. Okay, X is the liters of milk you are going to add. So 6 plus S, 6 plus X would be the milk, right? Total milk. So when you are adding X, you have to add that X to the total mixture also, right? So that is why we have done this 10 plus X here. Okay, so the condition is it should be 75%. That is why we have written 10 plus X is the mixture. The mixture 75% of that mixture is equal to 6 plus X. Then we have equated it. So 6 plus X is equal to, we have expanded this. So it would be 75 into 10 by 100 plus X into 75 by 100. Okay. X into 75 by 100. So it would be 75 X by 100. Clear? So that is why we have cancelled the 0. So 75 by 10 plus 75x by 100. That is what we have got here. Now when we are equating this, we will simplify this. So 75 by 100 would be 3 by 4 and this would be 7.5. So bringing numbers to one side and x to the other side, and while equating you will get x is equal to 6. So x is the number of liters you have to add now. So that will be 6 liters. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes. No, I have taken the extra milk that should be added as X, not water. Moving on to the next question. Please do it. Okay, so A and B started their journey from a place 1 hour apart. After covering 240 kilometer, if A, who was traveling at a speed of 60 kilometer per hour, and B, who arrived 1 hour later, sorry, it is not arrived, who started. Okay, who started 1 hour later. Get it started. Reach the same point, then the speed of B's vehicle will be. That is the question. So A and B started their journey from a place 1 hour apart. So if A started by 3 o'clock, B started by 4 o'clock. Okay. After covering 240 kilometer, if A, who was traveling at a speed of 60 kilometer per hour, B also joined him at that place, then the speed of B's vehicle will be. That is the question. Okay, we have B and A met, joined, like were at the same place after A covered 240 kilometer. Okay, so here time, what will be the time taken by A? What will be the time taken by A? A covered 240 kilometer by 60 kilometer per hour, right? So distance by speed will give you time. So this will be 4 hours. So time taken by B would be, B also covered the same thing, but B started 1 hour late. So B would have taken only 3 hours. 4 minus 1, 3 hours. So that would be the time taken by B. Right. Now we have to find out the speed of B. The distance traveled by both of them are the same. So 240 by 3. You will get 80 kilometer as the answer. You will get 80 kilometer as the answer. Clear? 80 kilometer is the answer. Is it clear for you? Moving on to the next question. Do it. Shall I do? I'll show you the conventional method and then I'll show you the simple method. Okay. So here, A can complete a piece of work in 12 days. A can complete a piece of work in 12 days, right? And B can complete the same piece of work in 6 days. So what do you think the work done by A in 1 day? A can complete a piece of work in 12 days. So what will be the work done by A in 1 day? 1 by 12. Okay. If A can complete the work in 12 days, in 1 day, A will complete 1 by 12 of the work. B can complete work in 6 days. So what will be the work done by B in 1 day? 1 by 6. It is said that the work done by both A and B together will in 1 day will be equal to what C does alone 1 day. So A plus B will be 1 by 2, 1 by, it is not 2, 1 by 12. Okay. 1 by 12 plus 1 by 6. So 1 by 12 plus 1 by 6 will be what? You have to do into 2 into 2. So this will be 3 by 12. So 3 by 12 will be equal to 1 by 4. So this is the work that C does alone in 1 day. Okay, this is the work that C does alone in 1 day. The question is, then how many days will A and C together complete the work? So let's check what is the work done by A and C alone in 1 day. So in 1 day, A does 1 by 12, B does 1 by 4. Right, A does 1 by 12 and B does 1 by 4. So when you add it, what will you get? Into 3 into 3. So 3 plus 1 by 12, that is 1 by 4. So, sorry, 1 by 3. Right, 1 by 3. That means 4 by 12 will be equal to 1 by 3. So, they can do a work in 1 day. They will complete 1 by 3 of the work. Okay, in 1 day, they will complete 1 by 3 of the work. So, in how many days will they take to complete the work? Tell me. In 1 day, they will complete 1 by 3rd of the work. So the reciprocal of this, they will take 3 days to complete the work. If you don't know the equation, you can do it like this. Suppose if you know the equation, then how will you do it? Work is equal to time into efficiency. Okay, so here you only have time taken by certain people. So 12 and 6. Then how will you find out work? What you have to do? You have to find out the uh, LCM of 12 and 6. I'll do that. First, listen to this. Okay. You have to find out the LCM of 12 and 6. So LCM of 12 and 6 will be 12 itself. So work will be equal to 12. Okay. Work will be equal to 12. Now, what will be the efficiency of A? We know that A can complete a work in 12 days. So efficiency, we know that work is equal to time taken into efficiency. So efficiency will be equal to work by time taken. So work is 12, time taken by if A is also 12. So that is 1. Efficiency of A is 1. Now what will be the efficiency of B? What will be the efficiency of B? Work is 12. Time taken by B is 6. So, efficiency of B is 2. Now, we know that C does the work A and B does together in one day. So, efficiency of C would be 1 efficiency of A plus efficiency of B. So, that would be 3. Okay. So, we got the efficiency of A and B and C. The question is then in how many days A and C together will complete the work. So what will be the efficiency of A and C together? What will be the efficiency of A and C together? Efficiency of A and C together will be 1 plus 3, that is 4. So time taken by them together would be time is equal to work by efficiency. Work is 12. Efficiency of them together is 4. So they will take only 3 days. Clear? So clear for you? Yes. Okay. So those who wanted me to explain the other method, this method, I'll do that. Please listen. So they have said that they will take 12 days to complete a piece of work. So in one day, the work done by A will be the reciprocal of that, 1 by 12. Okay. In one day, the work done by B will be 1 by 6 because B takes 6 days to complete the work. So the reciprocal of that 1 by 6. And it is said that in the question that they both, A and B, whatever work A and B both together does in one day, C can do it alone. Right. So we are just adding that 1 by 12 plus 1 by 6. So when you do 1 by 12 plus 1 by 6, you will get 1 by 4. So that is the work that C does in one day. Okay. Now we have to find out the number of days A and C, if A and C are working together, in how many days they will complete the work. So we know that the work done by A in one day is 1 by 12. Work done by B in one day is 1 by 4. We add that, then we'll get the work done by A and C together in one day. That is 1 by 3. So in one day, A and C will complete 1 by 3 of the work. So in how many days they will complete the work? In 3 days. The reciprocal of that, 3 days. Clear? Is it clear now? Okay. Moving on to the next question. Please do it. Shall I do? The average marks of 12 children in a class are 20. When one more child joins the class, the average becomes 90. What is the mark of the new child? That is the question. Okay. So the average marks of 12 children in a class is 20. So average is equal to sum of the observation divided by number of observation. Right. Sum of the observation divided by number of observation. Here, that is average. We know the average and the number of observation. So sum will be equal to what? First sum will be equal to 1 minute. Sum will be equal to what? 12 into 20. So 12 into 20 will be 240. 12 into 20 will be 240. Now, when one more child join the class, the average becomes 19. Okay. So, the one more child join the class, the average becomes 19 means the new sum will be equal to what? New sum will be equal to the number of children will be 13 into new average is 19. So 13 into 19, you will get 247. Okay. So what is the mark of the new child? That is the question. What is the mark of the new child? So the sum has changed. So you have to just find out the difference of that. So 247 minus 240. That is 7. 7 is the answer. Okay. 7 is the answer. Is it clear? Is it clear for you? Right? Next, I thought I'll give you some dangerous. Yes, I'll give you some AP questions. The questions won't be there. You have to listen to me. Okay. So let's say in an AP, the ratio of, I'll write it on the ratio. Okay. The ratio of second term and seventh term is equal to 1 by 3. Okay. The ratio of second term and seventh term is 1 by 3. Fifth term is 11. Okay. Fifth term is 11. What you have to find out? The 15th term. You have to find out the 15th term. That is the question. Shall I do? Okay, let's see. So here we know that the ratio, okay, the ratio of second and seventh term. Right, the ratio of second and seventh term is 1/3. So how will you write second term? How will you write second term? Tell me. How will you write second term? Second term will be A plus D. Second term will be A plus D. How will you write seventh term? How will you write seventh term? A plus 6D. Right. Their ratio is 1/3. Their ratio is 1/3. So now you have to equate this. When you equate this, you will get 3A plus 3D is equal to A plus 6D. Right. 3A plus 3D is equal to A plus 6D. So again, bring A to one side and D to the other side. So 2A will be equal to 2A will be equal to 3D. 2A will be equal to 3D. So which means A will be equal to what? A will be equal to 1.5D. Okay, A will be equal to 1.5D. I hope this is clear for everyone. A is equal to 1.5D. You got that. Okay, A is equal to 1.5D. And we know that fifth term is what? Fifth term is 11. So how will you write down fifth term? A plus 4D. Right, A plus 4D. We know that A is equal to 1.5D. So 1.5D plus 4D is 11. Right? So 11 will be equal to 5.5D. 11 will be equal to 5.5D. So D will be equal to what? 11 by 5.5. 11 by 5.5. So 11 by 5.5 will be 2. So you will get D as 2. Okay, you will get D as 2. Now, we can find out A. A is equal to 1.5D. So 1.5 into 2. Because you now know what D is. So that is 3. So you got A as 3. Now you know A and D. So you have to find out 15th term. You have to find out 15th term. Right. So 15th term means A plus 14D. A is 3 plus D is 2. So 14 into 2. So 3 plus 28. What is 3 plus 28? 3 plus 28 is 31. 3 plus 28 is 31. That is the answer. 3 plus 28 is 31. That is the answer. Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear? Yes. Shall I move on to the next question then? Okay, we'll do another AP. Okay, we'll do another AP. So here in this AP, let's say the sum of the first 3 terms. Okay. First 3 terms sum is equal to what? 6. Okay. The sum of the first 3 terms of an AP is 6. Okay. Then sum of the last 3 terms. Sum of the last 3 terms of the AP is 60. Okay, sum of the last three terms of the AP is 60. If AP has 13 terms, so N is equal to 30. And total number of terms is equal to 30. Okay. Total number of terms is equal to 13. What is the sum of the middle three terms? You have to find out the sum of the middle three terms. Do it. Shall I do? Why I'm not seeing any answers? Yes. 11. Yeah. Okay. So here, okay. So here it is said that first three terms. So first three terms, how can you write the first three terms? First term will be A. Second term will be A plus D. Third term will be A plus 2D. Right. So when you add all this, what will you get? When you add all this, you will get 3a plus 3d. Right, 3a plus 3d, and it is said that it is equal to 6. Right, that is equal to 6. Now, we know that we have in total 13 terms. So, last 3 terms would be 11th term, 12th term, 13th term. So, how will you write 11th term? A plus 10d. 12th term will be A plus 11d. 13th term will be A plus 12d. So when you add all this, what will you get? 3a plus 3a plus, very good, 3a plus 33d. Right, 3a plus 33d. And in the question, it is said that this is equal to what? 16. This is equal to 16. Right, this is equal to 16. So now you can equate this. 3, this is 3a, okay? Yeah. Now you can equate this. When you equate this, what will you get? 3a plus 3d is equal to 6. 3a plus 333d is equal to 16. So we can subtract 3a plus 33d minus 3a plus 3d. What will you get? So when you are subtracting, you will get 10. This will be 30d and this will be 0. Right. So 30d is equal to 10. So d will be equal to, oh, sorry, it is 30, not 3. Okay. 30d is equal to 10. So d will be equal to 1 by 3. D will be equal to 1 by 3. 10 by 30 will be equal to 1 by 3. So what will be A? Tell me, what will, D is 1 by 3. So what will be A? If D is 1 by 3, what will be A? You can substitute the value of D and you will get the answer. Very good. 5 by 3. In which did you substitute that? Three A plus 3D is equal to 6. Right? So, for that, 3a plus 3d is equal to 6. We know that 6 is, d is 1 by 3. So 3a plus 3 into 1 by 3 is equal to 6. So you can cancel this. So this will be 1. Right. So 3a plus 1 is equal to 6. So 3a will be equal to 5. That means a is equal to 5 by 3. You will get a as 5 by 3. Is it clear? You will get a as 5 by 3. Is that clear for you? So now you know D and A. Now you know D and A. So now tell me, what will be the middle 3 terms? What will be the middle 3 terms? Like which all terms? Is it the first term? Is it the second term? Is it the third term? In total, you have 13, right? In total, you have 13 terms. So the middle 3 terms will be 6, 7, and 8. So 6th term can be written as A plus 5D. Then 7th term can be written as A plus 6D. And 8th term can be written as A plus 7D. So when you add all this, what will you get? When you add all this, you will get 3A plus 18D. You will get 3A plus 18D. So A is what? A is 5 by 3. So 3 into 5 by 3 plus 18 into D is what? D is 1 by 3. right? So you can cancel this. Sorry. So this will be 5 plus 6. So 5 plus 6 will be 11. Is it clear? Is it clear for you guys? How to do this question? Okay, I'll explain it again. Don't worry. So first, the question was that the sum of the first three terms, is equal to 6. So we wrote the first three terms as A, the second term would be A plus D, the third term would be A plus 2D, right? Because nth term is, if you want to find out nth term, you have to do A plus n minus 1 into D. That is the equation. So right. So first term would be A, second term would be A plus D, third term would be A plus 2D. So when you add it, you will get 3A plus 3D, and that is 6. That is there in the question. Same thing we are doing for the last three terms. In total, we know there are 13 terms. So the last three terms will be 11th, 12th, and 13th term. So A plus 10D, A plus 11D, A plus 12D would be the last three terms. When you add it, you will get 3A plus 33D. And their sum is 16. That is what is said in the question. Now you are equating this. We are subtracting. Let's say this is 2 and this is 1. We are subtracting 2 minus 1. Okay, when you are doing it, you will get 30D is equal to 10. Okay, 30D is equal to 10. So when you get 30D is equal to 10, you will get that D is equal to 1 by 3. You will get D is equal to 1 by 3. Okay. So substituting the value of D in one of these equation, anyone, whichever you want, one of these equation, you will get the value of A. So 3A plus 3D is equal to 6. Okay. So 3A plus 3 into D is 1 by 3. So 3 into 1 by 3 is equal to 6. So when you equate this, you will get A as 5 by 3. So now you know A and D. The question is to find out the sum of middle three terms. In total, you have 13 terms, right? So middle three terms would be 6th term, 7th term, and 8th term. 6th term can be written as A plus 5D, isn't it? The 7th term can be written as A plus 6D, right? And 8th term can be written as A plus 7D. Why not 9th term? The middle three terms was the question, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, which is the middle three. The middle number is 7. So middle three would be 6, 7, 8. That is why A plus 5D, A plus 6D, A plus 7D. Okay, so 3A plus 18D. Now we are substituting the value of A and D and you will get 11 as the answer. Is it clear for you? Right? Okay. So it's 9 o'clock now. We have gone through all topics from mathematical reasoning. I hope it was a fruitful session for you guys. I hope you understood whatever things we have discussed today. Did you? Yes? Right. So no need to get worried. Just, read the question carefully. Okay. You have done a lot. You have studied a lot. Now, what you want to do is you have to remain calm in the exam hall and read the question carefully. Okay. Most of you, the mistake you do is you don't read the question carefully. The question might be to find something else and you might be finding out something else. So read the question carefully and do the calculations carefully. Whenever you are, after doing the calculation, write the correct numbers from it. There are also people out of stress do some mistakes. So don't do all such silly mistakes, okay? Right? So all the best for your exam. And you have done well, okay? You have done your best, so you will do well in your exam. No need to get stressed. All the best, right? Okay. Take care. Bye bye. Good night, guys. Good night. Yes. Mhm.